All right, if you have years of unfiled tax returns, you may feel overwhelmed, but there are some smart steps you could take to get a handle on your filing. Joining us now, we have Kimberly Washington to give us a few ways to get a handle on your tax returns. So Kim, first of all, so good to see you. Now, what are the first steps you should take if you have yet to file in recent years?
Right, just as you mentioned, it can be very overwhelming, but the first thing you want to do is get an understanding which tax years that you do need to file for at this time. You can do that a couple of different ways. First, you can call the IRS at 1-800-829-1040, or you can create an online account at irs.gov. You can request a transcript of your account to determine which years you are required to file. But one thing you do want to keep in mind, in some instances, you may not be required to file, but it could be to your advantage, of course, because you may qualify for certain tax credits. So you do want to do a little bit of homework just to make certain that you're doing the right thing.
Now, Kim, what if someone is listening and they're ready to file but don't have their tax records? What should they do?
Right, so a lot of people, of course, like, okay, I don't have all of my documents. What do I need to do? The first step that you do want to take is request your documents from the IRS. You can request what's called your wage and income transcript. That can provide you with your W-2s, 1099s, and other tax information. Also provide any expenses that you may have paid, such as student loan interest or mortgage interest. But that's the first step that you do want to take, is make certain that you reach out to the IRS and get those documents in hand.
Now, Kim, we know that there's a limited time a person can claim a tax refund from the IRS. What should taxpayers know about that?
Right, people don't realize, but you have a very limited time. Of course, if the IRS owes you money, if you don't file your tax return in that time, of course, what can happen, you can lose out on your tax refund. So some of the things that you do need to keep in mind is that it's a 3-year window. So let me give you an example. If you have yet to file your 2019 tax return, you have until 2023 to request that refund. After this time, you can still file your tax return, but of course, you can't get that tax refund. And it's kind of weird because, of course, if you do owe the IRS, there's no statute on that. You will, of course, need to file that tax return and pay those taxes.
That's important. And finally, Kim, what are some other tips for someone who has yet to file in years?
Right, so if you haven't filed in years, the first thing, do as soon as possible. Make sure that you do file that tax return. That could alleviate any additional penalties and interest that can continue to accrue on your account. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe because you owe too much at this time, set up a payment arrangement with the IRS, and that can help you at this time. But do take the necessary steps to get everything in order.
There you go, y'all, giving you everything you need to know to save on your bottom dollar and your taxes. Kimberly Washington, as always, really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.